Okay, the meeting's now live. Just give it, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Howard.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bridgewater Township Reorganization Meeting of January 4th, 2021. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting was provided on December 21st, 2020, in accordance with NJSA 10:4-6 et sec, as amended to permit public bodies as therein defined to conduct public meetings by means of communication or other electronic equipment, and with written notice and electronic notice provided to the Courier News and the Star Ledger, posting on the website and the bulletin board in the municipal building, and filing with the township clerk. Madam Clerk, may we have the roll call, please?
Councilman Kirsch?
Here.
Councilman Cardillo?
Here.
Councilman Ring?
Good evening here.
Vice President Pedroso?
Here.
President Norgalis?
Here. Would you stand with me, if you are able, for the salute to the flag, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving to item number 4 in the agenda, we have invocations from representatives of Two Faiths at this point. Rabbi Dan Sellersberg of Temple Shalom will lead off, to be followed by Priest Hari Krishna Guru of the Siri Ventakaswara Temple. Gentlemen, we are honored that you have joined us today to invoke the blessings of God in the work that we have done and hope to be able to do in the future. Rabbi, maybe start with you, please, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to participate tonight. In traditional Judaism, really sometimes blessings come in the form of teachings. So briefly, when the Torah, when our first sacred text speaks of the obligations of overseeing a society and those who have been selected to oversee a society, it says tzedek tirdof. In Hebrew, justice you shall pursue. And the sages ask, why does God repeat the word justice twice? Why is it justice you shall pursue? And there are a few different ideas as to why this could be the case. Some say that it's repeated twice because it's something you have to do every day. You can't wake up when you are in a leadership role and say that I did justice yesterday, so I can take today off. It's each day. Others say that it is necessary to repeat it, to remind us that we must do justice when it is to our advantage and when it is not to our advantage. That real justice, the justice that God asks us to do, sometimes works in our favor and sometimes doesn't. So it's said twice. It's also to teach us justice you shall pursue, that justice must be pursued through just means. You can't say that the ends justify the means. Justice must be pursued justly. So it is my blessing that for all those in this body faced with a difficult year ahead, with hard decisions ahead, will seek to live up to this blessing of doing justice justly, fairly, seeking to mitigate the harm that our current situation faces, and that we can all live together, not only peacefully, though that too, but also in good health and security, and that we can all work together to achieve that in a just way. Please.
Thank you, Rabbi. Priest Hari Krishna Guru.
Namaste to all of you. And I'm very honored, and it's my privilege to have here tonight with all of you. I will pray some slokas from our scriptures. Harihi Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha Om Ganana प्रजापतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ महागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शं नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। वृषशैलाधिपये दैवतं नः वृषभाद्रीश्वरये दैवतं नः फणिशैलाधिपये दैवतं नः भगवान् वेङ्कटये दैवतं नः। I wish you a very happy and prosperous new year to all of you, and I wish you all the best. Stay happy and stay healthy, everyone. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to item 5 on the agenda, which is listed as the council outgoing address. And I'm going to offer a few words. And I want to say good evening to anyone who's visiting us on the line, whether they're residents, especially the clergy for participating tonight, and friends of Bridgewater Township. First of all, let me share the names of some of the folks who may be with us tonight, besides Mayor Mensch and my fellow councilmen. And by the way, the names have already been announced, but it's Council President, Vice President Pedroso, Councilman Alan Credilla, Councilman Michael Kirsch, and Councilman Timothy Ring. We also have with us our registered municipal clerk, Linda Doyle, and in Linda's office is also Deputy Clerk Grace Naranja, who is also a registered municipal clerk. These two ladies, along with our staffer, Krista Gaffney, represent the eyes and the ears and the face of the township as far as I'm concerned. And I thank them for keeping we as council folks focused during the course of 2020. Others on the call include Township Administrator and former Councilman Michael Pappas, Police Chief Michael Payne, Director of Municipal Services Tom Genova, and our Township Attorney Christopher Corsini of the firm of Savo Shore. My thanks to my fellow councilmen for having given me the opportunity to enjoy a 4th term as council president. Little did I realize when picking up the ceremonial gavel last January what lay ahead. That January was a time of expectation as Mayor Mensch and Councilman Kirsch and Ring, having been swept into office the previous January, took the oath of office to continue their pledge of good and open government, fiscal responsibility, and respect for the residents. I will not dwell on the aspect of what became of year 2020 as we all experienced the COVID-19 crisis in one form or another, but I will share my personal journey as part of your elected team. It was a year of collegial support as mayor and council teamed up in fulfilling election promises. I had the honor and privilege, along with Administrator Pappas, to co-chair Mayor Mensch's transition committee, along with other notable activities. Speaking of Administrator Pappas, I cannot say enough about what a phenomenal administrator he has been and is. Michael has been easy to do business with, responsive, practical, supportive, and simply a gentleman in every sense of the word. Thank you, Michael, in large measure for making a difficult council president year a lot better. And a very special thank you to the legions of volunteers who comprise the dozens of committees and commissions that are the backbone of our township. Mayor Mensch deserves the credit for bringing new and even dramatic changes to our township, the creation of the Office of Constituent Relations Organization headed by Wells Winiger, his weekly newsletter, social media posting, a roadwork analysis, and new end-of-year traditions are just some of the examples of forward-looking issues. You will hear more from the mayor in just a few minutes. The main job of the council is to serve as the legislative arm of government. There were numerous ordinance changes, creations, and the like, all in the name of good government. My personal quest in 2020 was to continue to fulfill the promise I made in my first year as a councilman. I promised then to draw on my experiences and as a resident to serve honestly and truly. Most importantly, it was to listen to the residents' concern and try to understand their need and, where possible, satisfy those needs or at least lay the groundwork for a future resolution. We made progress in 2020, but good, honest, and sincere government does not stop with the calendar change. It will continue through 2021 as this council conscientiously continues to work to maintain the quality of life that is part of the fabric of this great township. May God bless our troops and our township as we look forward to a far healthier 2021. Now, one of the benefits of being the outgoing council president is to lead the nomination for the incoming president. And it is my honor to nominate Philippe Pedroso, a native to Bridgewater Township, the only councilman, by the way, who has lived in, I think, 4, maybe even 5 different spots in the township. So no one has a better perspective of what goes on in the various parts of Bridgewater than Philippe. He's a noted attorney of record. He's an entrepreneur. He's a person who has served very honorably for this council over several terms, knows the business, does the business. So it is my honor to nominate Philippe Pedroso to be council president for Bridgewater Township for the year 2021. Can I have a second on that nomination, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Alan. All those in favor of Philippe as president, please signify by saying aye.
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 I'll
Nay.
abstain. I'll abstain, Councilman.
Okay. Let the record show that unanimous endorsement, except for the absent, that Philippe Pedroso is now the president. And Philippe, if I could hand you the gavel, I would. The agenda is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Councilman Norgalis. I have big shoes to fill. Certainly we all know in the council, but I think you deserve recognition for being what I say is the hardest working councilman that we have here in Bridgewater Township. And Bridgewater is well served, sir, by having you represent all of us on the council. So thank you for everything you've done over the past year and you continue to do. At this point, item number 7 on the agenda is to select council vice president. I would like to make a motion to select Councilman Alan Cardilla as vice president. Councilman Cardilla is certainly known by all of us. He's been on the council, I think almost probably longer or the same time as Councilman Norgalis. That's a long time.
Long time.
Long time.
We won't say how long.
And so, well deserved. And so I move to appoint Councilman Cardilla as vice president.
It would be my honor to second that nomination. Alan has served not only as a councilman, but as a fireman, a fire commissioner. He is part of Bridgewater Township and has been for decades. You have my second.
Thank you, sir. So we'll do I think we'll do a roll call. So Linda could do the roll.
Councilman Cardillo,
While I will accept, I will abstain on the vote.
Councilman Kirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Norgalis,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedrosa.
Yes. Thank you, and congratulations, Councilman Vice President Cordella. At
Thank
this
you.
point, item number 8 on the agenda is the new council president's message. So I did prepare a few words, and I had a hunch that Councilman Orgales would speak about 2020, and I'm pretty sure Mayor Mensch is going to speak about both 20 and also 2021. So I do have a few words I wanted to share. Good evening and Happy New Year to my fellow council members, mayor, everyone in attendance, and to all 44,000 Bridgewater residents. First, thank you to council members Norgales, Gardilla, Kirsch, and Ring for putting your trust in me to lead the council in 2021. I promise to do my very best to serve you honorably and respectfully. To the residents, please know that I am always available to you for whatever you may need. My contact information is accessible on the Township's website at any time. I would also like to thank the Township staff, and especially Linda Doyle and her team, for making us look good. There are many, many volunteers that participate in various Township committees and boards, and I thank you for your time and commitment to making Bridgewater the very best they can be. Communities are made up of people, and we have some amazing residents here in Bridgewater who unselfishly give so much back to their community. A special shout out and thank you to the fire department and rescue squad volunteers who, especially in the face of a scary pandemic, step up time after time to assist all of us when we need them the most. And I would like to thank all the brave men and women of our Bridgewater Police Department for their professionalism and service. These police officers risk their lives every day so that we can all have the privilege of living in a safe community. I am lucky to call Bridgewater home since 1978. I was 7 years old at the time and enrolled in second grade at Valley School, which is now the Board of Education building on Newman's Lane. Since 1978, I have continuously called Bridgewater home, although in various addresses and parts of town, actually 8 different addresses in all. Having lived in most sections of town, I have a unique understanding of all of our township's diversity, both in land and people. What is sometimes important to Martinsville isn't necessarily a priority in Bradley Gardens. What Finn Durham may need is not necessarily the same as the Country Club area, and areas around Milltown may have different zoning needs from the Meadow Road area. Our township is large and diverse. With over 32 square miles, surrounded by 13 different municipalities, individual areas have independent zoning needs. This year, the township will start the process of revisiting and rewriting our master plan. No single document is more important to defining what Bridgewater is than the master plan. It identifies each section of town, each parcel of land, and sets upon it zoning requirements and limitations. The master plan is undoubtedly what provides our residents with the greatest protection to their quality of life. I look forward to working with everyone in drafting a final master plan that protects our diversity and our quality of life. A master plan that keeps Bridgewater as a family town where both children and seniors find solitude, comfort, and enjoyment in living here. Since 1978, I have witnessed firsthand Bridgewater change in many ways. Growth and development is obvious. Bridgewater Commons was built while I was attending Bridgewater Raritan High School East, and the physical landscape of the town has changed so much. Many for the good, as commercial development in the right places can help alleviate the property taxes to our residents. Some not so good, as we witnessed the public fight against the overdevelopment sought by the owners of the Center of Excellence. I was proud of the hundreds of residents who stood up to protect the town that we love, to fight for our quality of life, and to safeguard what is Bridgewater. The Preserve Bridgewater Group organized and immobilized and raised attention to an overdevelopment project that jeopardized the fabric of the town. I'd like to thank Mayor Mensch for keeping his promise and continuing the fight against overdevelopment, for prioritizing our quality of life, and for the administration's continuing fight against the overdevelopment that is still sought by the owners of the Center of Excellence. But Bridgewater hasn't changed since 1978 solely in its landscape. More importantly, the township's diversity in people has changed as well. Bridgewater is now a diverse community of different races and colors and creeds. When I arrived at Valley School in 1978, I was the only foreign student. At the time, my classroom was filled with mostly white students with a few Asian Americans. Over time, the diversity expanded. Yet by 1988, when I graduated from high school, we only had 4 Black students in my graduating class. The township's diversity continued to expand. Today, Bridgewater is a beautifully diverse community with various cultures, religions, and people of many races. And I'm particularly proud that the council's act a couple of years ago when it appropriately named the Hobstown area. And last year, the council renamed the Monmouth Avenue Recreation Field the Hobstown Park, rightfully recognizing the importance of the African American community in Bridgewater's history. As the governing body, the Bridgewater Council needs to represent all our diverse residents. As a community, we need to be accepting of all, irrespective of their differences. To celebrate our diversity, I invited all 4 of the major religious groups to provide a prayer at this meeting tonight. We are honored to have representatives of the Christian, Hindu, Jewish, and Muslim faiths here today. It is a historic moment, as it is the first time that all 4 religious groups have shared in prayer at a Bridgewater Council meeting. Bridgewater is now the home of many religions and faiths, and this diversity will continue to strengthen our community. Freedom to practice one's religion is the bedrock of our American democracy, and we should embrace it, encourage it, and respect it. 2020 has been a challenging year. With COVID and the presidential election, many were eager to say goodbye to 2020. I do want to take a moment to give my condolences to the families of the 84 Bridgewater residents who passed away due to COVID complications. I'm sure they'll be missed by their loved ones, and we as a Bridgewater community mourn with them. May God bless these families and bring comfort to them. This moment, if you could please join me in a moment of silence and the remembrance now. And if you could just please stand for a brief moment. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to 2021 with increased distribution of COVID vaccines and the dust settling of the presidential election. I remain hopeful that we will resume our normality. America has the best scientists and medical personnel, and I am confident that we will overcome this pandemic this year. And I know Bridgewater residents are compassionate and eager to help each other. I saw that throughout social media in 2020 with neighbors offering to help strangers. And I've seen that all my life living in this amazing township that I've been lucky to call home. We are a community of various backgrounds, races, and religions, but we came to Bridgewater because we share a common ideology. We love our families. We enjoy our quality of life here. We seek safe neighborhoods, and we want to worship our religion. We have so much more in common than whether you like Trump or Biden, and we are truly a community. I love this township. Today I came to deliver this address from the council diocese. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, these beautiful chambers are empty today. But every single time I come here, I sit in this seat. I am humbled that I received my fellow residents' trust to represent them. And I am reminded of the awesome responsibility that I have to do my part to keep Bridgewater the best place to live, work, and play, and to make sure that I pass on to the next generation a Bridgewater that is just as great as that township that I grew up in. To my fellow council members, we can never lose sight that our task is to serve the public good. We have a tremendous responsibility to make sure that Bridgewater's quality of life is protected, that we don't overburden our residents with unnecessary taxes, that we continue to provide quality essential services, and that our communities are safe. I look forward to working with all of you this coming year and with Mayor Mensch in what I am sure is our common goal to keep Bridgewater the best place to live. Thank you. So with that, we move on to item number 9 on the agenda, which is the Mayor's State of the Township Address. Is Mayor Mensch ready?
I am ready. Can you hear me, Council President?
I can hear you. Thank you, sir. You have the mic.
Wonderful. Thank you, Council President, and congratulations. Good evening to all the council members, staff, and residents who are joining us this year. And thank you for joining us for this year's reorganization meeting. Even though we've been having our council meetings virtually since March, it's still very strange not to be standing in front of a chamber full of friends, family, colleagues, and residents as we start the new year in Bridgewater. I stood in front of that chamber on January 1st of last year, and sometimes it feels like it was 100 years ago. So much has changed and will continue to change over this year. But I still have hope. Hope that Bridgewater will remain the same place I love and cherish, and hope that we together can make it even better than it was before the pandemic changed our way of life. I would like to start by acknowledging the residents of Bridgewater for their strength and perseverance that this community has displayed over the course of one of the most difficult and trying years any of us could have imagined. Every resident has been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic in significant ways, but none more so than the family and friends of the 84 residents we lost this year. Mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, brothers, and sisters. Our community will forever grieve this tragic loss of life. And I know that words cannot make up for the pain that those feel. Loss of a loved one is not the only impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Nearly 1,400 residents have contracted COVID-19 here in Bridgewater. Many of our residents at long-term care facilities had been unable to see family for months. Residents have lost their jobs or seen their businesses they spent their lifetime building struggle or fail. Our children are not attending full-time in-person instruction. No matter how hard our dedicated and passionate teachers work, remote learning can never replace the in-person educational experience. However, in the midst of all this hardship, we have seen dozens of examples of the best of our community. Individuals and groups who have demonstrated the resiliency of the human spirit and dedication to others that inspires us all. I would like to start by recognizing all of our frontline first responders and healthcare workers who, while we were able to stay safe in our homes, put their health on the line every day to help our community. Whether in a hospital, doctor's office, long-term care facility, or COVID testing site, our frontline workers never failed us. This goes especially to our volunteer fire and rescue squads, who, out of the kindness of their hearts and unyielding commitment to our community, put their health at risk on a daily basis. It will take a lot more than this disease to take the spirit and dedication to service from these volunteers. I, on behalf of the council and all Bridgewater residents, salute and thank you. And we should not forget those essential workers, like grocery store employees, who continue to show up at work to make sure that we continue to have the food and essential items that we needed at the height of the pandemic and uncertainty. Nor should we forget our teachers, who are trying their very best while managing their own personal struggles to provide for an environment for our children to learn and grow. Last, I want to thank our team here in Bridgewater, especially Director of Human Services, Christine Madrid, and OEM Coordinator, Sergeant Jamie Edwards. Under Christine's management of our health professionals, we've provided statistics and safety information through our health educator, implemented a robust contact tracing program with our communicable disease investigator, recommended and implemented internal and external policies to help keep our staff and the public safe while accessing municipal services, and address specific COVID-19 related issues as they have arisen. Additionally, our Office of Emergency Management Coordinator, Sergeant Jamie Edwards, has ensured that Bridgewater's most vulnerable are being monitored diligently with the Register Ready program, and helped make sure that PPE was available and distributed to Bridgewater first responders, staff, and assisted living facilities, and helped direct other needed resources. A sincere thank you to all of our public health officials for all you've done for our community this year. Lastly, but certainly not least, I need to thank all of you, the residents that make Bridgewater one of the best places to live in America. I've seen some amazing things happen over this past year. I saw Jennifer Lochran lead the now infamous Mask Squad, who have distributed countless face coverings to members of the community. Even more than the masks, they help provide a sense of control, purpose, and hope at our community's darkest hour. I saw a high school student spearhead blood drives and antibody testing, which he led from beginning right to fruition. I saw our Chinese American community pool resources and donate PPE to the township and first responders. And these are just a few examples of the countless tales of the everyday heroism that is taking place in Bridgewater. Thank you to all of our residents who have provided condolences and comfort to those grieving and for inspiring hope to our community. Municipal governments were no exception to the financial toll of the COVID-19 pandemic. It quickly became clear that the consequences to our municipal budget were significant. Bridgewater found itself with over $2 million deficit directly related to loss of revenue from COVID-19. Items such as the hotel occupancy taxes and profit sharing with the Bridgewater Commons Mall. The only thing that was clear about the budget was that we knew that we could not make up our lost revenue solely on the backs of our residents and taxpayers, so many of which were already struggling. We needed to make deep, significant cuts in order to spread the pain in a responsible and reasonable way. I believe that we achieved a budget that minimized the impact on our residents, in part by reducing spending by $1.6 million below last year's spending levels. We made tough decisions to ensure that our public would not bear the financial burdens from our lost revenue. We succeeded in doing so. I would like to thank the council, especially the Council Finance Committee, consisting of Howard Nergalis and Philippe Pedroso, for being dedicated partners throughout that process. And I look forward to continuing our collaboration as we enter a new budget year. Despite these challenges, we achieved or set in motion several of the initiatives that brought me into this office. One of these Keystones initiative was Universal Road Assessment. With the results of this assessment now in hand, we outlined a plan to take a different, decisive approach to tackling the challenge of addressing Bridgewater's infrastructure. And the administration now has a clear path forward. We have created a comprehensive strategy for future township roadway improvement projects that emphasizes efficiency, economy, and transparency for residents. This new approach includes the division of the township into 6 unique road improvement districts, the goal of allocating road work to each district and each area of township every year. The design of the 6 road improvement packages using quantitative data obtained through the Universal Road Assessment for both engineering and construction, which correspond to the 6 road improvement regions, will provide efficiency and provide financial savings. An additional focus on the road preservation measures to extend the useful life of our roadways that we invest our taxpayer dollars to. And building and maintenance of a standalone, publicly available website, which is ourbwroads.com, which is now a one-stop comprehensive resource for all the township information regarding current and future roadway improvement projects. With that strategy now set, the Bridgewater Township Road Lottery, which has been coined by many residents, is now over. We have the data and the tools to make meaningful changes to our township roadways and to do it in a transparent manner. However, just like many of the roads in Bridgewater do not crumble overnight, this problem will not be fixed overnight. But the residents of this community deserve a thorough and transparent plan that sets realistic yet aggressive goals. I believe that this will accomplish just that over the course of the next few years. Thank you to our council for authorizing the funding to conduct the assessment and for their commitment to this strategy moving forward. Thank you to our Director of Municipal Services, Tom Genova, and Township Engineer Bill Burr for all their work to make this a reality. It took a lot of hard work and teamwork to get this project moving forward, and we're very proud of what we have to look forward to. Along with a fundamental change in the way we approach road projects, I believe that the township needed a fundamental shift in the way that we communicate with our residents. This is why on day 1 of this administration, we reallocated township resources to create an Office of Constituent Relations. Since January 1st of this year, this office has been charged to create a hub for resident complaints, questions, and concerns. Too many times over my years on the Township Council did I hear from residents who told me that they had not heard back from the township on their issues. This is not acceptable. Every taxpayer in Bridgewater deserves a response. Now, that's not to say that we can always provide a response that will make the resident happy or fully resolve their issue. But anyone who takes the time to reach out to the township deserves to know that they're being heard. And we're listening, and we're going to take action in every aspect that we can. The Office of Constituent Relations has also helped us improve and increase our communication through the newly created newsletter, increased content on our website and Facebook pages, and assisted in making meetings virtual. I plan to continue to build this department in the future to continue to expand the ability to communicate with our residents and address the issues and questions on the minds of our taxpayers. I especially thank Deputy Township Administrator Wells Wininger for spearheading OCR and helping bring this vision to a reality. In addition to being responsive to residents, this administration and council have also been dedicated to protecting the quality of life and our resident safety. In terms of resident quality of life, our focus has been our fight against overdevelopment in Bridgewater, and nothing exemplifies that mission more than the ongoing legal battle with Advance Realty and their plans for the Center of Excellence site. This year, we refused to back down to Advance Realty's attempts to void some of the limited protections imposed by the prior planning board. We fought Advance Realty in court, and after a trial in Superior Court, they upheld the township's position and required Advance Realty to come back before the newly constituted planning board. That board was expanded last year to provide for additional resident participation and more voices to be heard. However, rather than face the planning board for final approvals for the supermarket and hotel, Advance Realty has appealed the decision. While I think almost everyone recognizes that there's need for appropriate development on the Center of Excellence site, I will not support the current proposal and will continue to use every tool at my disposal to fight this application in every forum where there's an opportunity to do so. We will continue this fight, we will fight this appeal, and I am confident we will win. Hand in hand with quality of life concerns like overdevelopment is public safety. Without the safety and security provided by our police department, roads, parks, recreation, it doesn't matter. Nothing is more important than the safety of our community. And I will never back down from supporting the men and women of the Bridgewater Police Department who provide that safety to all of us. I firmly believe that we have one of the best law enforcement agencies in the country. And it's not just me. I can't tell you the pride that I had driving around Bridgewater and seeing the results of the organic, resident-driven campaign to put out I support Bridgewater PD lawn signs all over town. Thank you to all of our residents who showed their support for our men and women in blue. A key to a great police department is efficient and effective leadership. And we have that in spades with our new police chief, Paul Payne, and his command staff. Chief Payne has brought a fresh vision to the agency and has accomplished much in his first year as chief. Within weeks when I took office last year, Chief Payne implemented key scheduling changes I'd advocated for as a councilman. By doing so, this allowed us to put significantly more officers on the road. With what is referred to as the Pittman schedule, depending on what time of day we're talking about, it increased our police coverage anywhere from 25% to 63%. It is a significant increase in public safety for our residents. And in light of the scheduling challenges that we faced with COVID, this was a true game changer to ensure we had the manpower to provide the safety our residents deserve. We also have dedicated additional efforts to processing our residents' firearm applications in a timely manner. In 2019, Bridgewater received 501 applications for 902 permits. This year, we saw 1,094 applications for 2,170 permits, a significant increase. The Second Amendment is as important as any of our other rights enshrined in the Bill of Rights. And we will continue to strive to make sure that we reduce any barriers at the municipal level to our residents accessing their Second Amendment rights. As we have all seen, 2020 has been a difficult year to be in law enforcement. Actions taken by individual police officers have tarnished the profession for the good, caring officers who are just trying to do their best to serve their communities. I have confidence in every man and woman in our police department. But that does not mean we have to be complacent. We can always be better. And together with Chief Payne and the senior officer leadership and the leadership of the PBA, we have taken proactive steps to make our department stronger and our community safer. The PBA led an effort to increase their use of force training and conducted specialized training with Igor Gracie from the legendary Renzo Gracie Academy in New York to learn basic fundamentals of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling. This will help our officers deal more safely with non-compliant suspects. Additionally, the police department has purchased state-of-the-art technology tool called Street Smart VR system. That system provides hundreds of training scenarios acquired through body-worn camera footage to put officers through real-life situations. The equipment is portable and can be set up almost anywhere. The training session is recorded, which allows for playback critique session from the officers from multiple angles and in-depth reference. Although shoot, don't shoot scenarios are part of the VR training, various other training situations such as mental health dilemmas, active protest situations, and non-compliant suspects are encompassed in the training. It is difficult for instruction-led classroom environments to provide the new level of training, but this VR training allows for customized, real-world training that can match real-life situations, but are in an arena that allows the officers to correct his or her mistakes and reinforce proper displays of force. The bonus to this system is that it will allow us to engage the community because the public can also use the VR system when the pandemic allows. So we can potentially widen the dialogue between the community and the police when it comes to the proper application of force in tense situations. So while an emphasis on new and enhanced training techniques is critical, we have also understood that a police officer cannot be trained for every situation. Sometimes either suspects or victims require additional emotional and mental support that goes beyond the capabilities of an officer. That is why the chief spearheaded an initiative called the Police Chaplaincy Program, which was passed into ordinance late this year with the support of the council. This allows our department to recruit members of our religious institutions that, beyond being available for special events, can help people in crisis in real time. We have also established regular meetings with leaders of the religious communities in our township to talk about issues in our community and to engage in a dialogue with the administration, police department, and community leaders. I applaud the chief and his command staff for working so diligently with our houses of worship and getting this done for our community. Last, but certainly not least, we have partnered with Somerset County to establish a pilot program to partner social workers to help our residents in need of additional care, such as substance abuse, domestic violence, or mental health concerns. As a councilman, I first learned of a program called On Point, which stands for Proactive Outreach and Needs and Treatment Program. This was first implemented in Stafford Township in Ocean County. I have fought for this program for 2 years, and I'm encouraged to see that the county seems ready to be a partner in this initiative. And I hope that in 2021, this will become a reality. I will continue fighting for this and any other tool that I believe our brave police officers need to do their job for the residents of Bridgewater. Thank you, Chief Payne, and all of our officers for all that you've accomplished this year. The sense of community is one of the things that I believe separates Bridgewater from other towns, and community events are the best way to build on that camaraderie. When I came into office, one of my goals was to reimagine old traditions and create new ones for all Bridgewater residents. As we all know, the pandemic has made that goal a difficult one to achieve fully. We were, however, able to set the stage for a couple of these events by starting a Christmas tree lighting and a menorah lighting at the municipal complex for the holiday season. These events will now be pillars of the season in Bridgewater, and I look forward to having the entire community participate in 2021. We've also gotten creative with our newly formed Bridgewater Veterans Advisory Committee, who helped us conduct small ceremonies for both Memorial Day and Veterans Day, which we filmed, edited, and released to our community. I look forward to the Veterans Advisory Committee continuing to innovate the way in which we honor, celebrate, and serve those who have served us so bravely. I look forward to the township hosting more events that will celebrate the history and diversity of our great community in 2021, including possibly a Bridgewater's Founders Day and a Bridgewater Day of Service. There's a lot to look forward to in 2021, but the challenges that our township faces do not end with the turning of the calendar year. The COVID-19 pandemic will continue to reap havoc on sources of township revenue and will again face a difficult budget landscape in 2021. We have attempted to get ahead of these financial realities by using any and all the tools at the township's disposal, including the sale of the Redwood Inn property, which was long overdue, the sale of a packaged liquor license, which will bring hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue to the township, and diligent and thoughtful application for state, federal, and county aid. I also advocated hard for the state to pass legislation for municipalities to apply for coronavirus relief bonds that will help make up lost revenue over 5 years. I, along with the council, pursued these so that we do not have to pass a large burden onto our taxpayers. We will do everything in our power and our ability to prevent our financial burden to be passed on to you. Conversely, outside of the pandemic, we are quickly approaching a crisis in the township sewer utility. Over the past decade, the township has not raised the flat rate at which we charge our residents, while absorbing fee increases from our regional sewer commission. Changes are needed, and not small ones. That is not the politically expedient thing for me to say, but I strongly believe that was elected to solve tough problems and make difficult decisions. Sewers are not an exciting thing to talk about, and they are often ignored until catastrophe strikes. I will not allow us to make that mistake. In the coming months, we will engage in public forums to discuss how to best address our infrastructure and revenue needs that the system will need to remain effective and solvent. We'll look at every solution, including the possibility of selling our system or changing the way in which we calculate sewer rates to make sure that our sewer infrastructure is properly maintained and operational for our residents. While we continue to grapple with these challenges, we also need to continue to improve as a government. We need to take a deep look into reviewing and updating the Township Master Plan. There is nothing more critical to preserving our quality of life than making sure our master plan is looked at holistically for the future of Bridgewater. And so we make sure we know what we want our community to look like in the years to come. We will also begin the process of updating our open space and recreation master plan to address all of our open space needs, including finally moving forward with a long-term vision and plan for Camp Cromwell. We will enhance our ability to serve our public. Upgrading our website is near the top of that list. It is difficult for us to be transparent to our residents when we have a website that is unorganized and difficult to navigate. We hope to correct that this year. More and more as time goes on, residents rely on our website for important information, and the current interface leaves people frustrated and uninformed. I hope to change this in 2021 and use additional technology to streamline any and all processes for our residents. Another important area for me is an increased focus on substance abuse awareness and bringing forth township resources to help individuals and families that are going through crisis while helping to prevent addiction before it starts. Across the country, overdose deaths are going through the roof as this pandemic and the correlating shutdowns have exacerbated mental health and addiction issues. I will bring a new focus to our municipal alliance, and if the lack of state funding continues, I will consider investing in programs at the township level. We cannot let those in need remain without assistance. We need to find ways of stimulating our small business community. This sector of the economy has been decimated by this pandemic and the massive shutdowns that have ensued. I, along with several other mayors, established Mayors for Main Street Alliance and have been advocating our state officials for relief to those businesses. We've looked for ways of streamlining local processes and encouraging small business growth, and we will continue to do that. We have started the process of reinvigorating our Shop Bridgewater program, which drives business to our local small businesses while giving discounts and property tax relief to our residents. This is a program that we've had for a while, but one has been underutilized. And we plan to correct that next year. We're planning on engaging our restaurants with the start of inaugural Bridgewater Restaurant Week to drive business to these struggling establishments. We will continue to think about new and innovative ways to help buoy these businesses that are on life support and need our help. These, along with many others, will be what I want our administration and council to focus on in 2021. Like I said earlier, Bridgewater faces many challenges, like all towns in this day and age, but I have hope. I encourage everyone listening to have hope, because only through a positive outlook can we see now unrealized opportunities and the possibilities of our entire community. I would once again like to thank our Township Council, because none of this progress could have been accomplished without your diligence and vision and your support. I look forward to working with Council President Pedroso. I thank outgoing Council President Norgalis on all of his leadership this past year. Thank you, Councilman Cardilla, for all of your steadfast support. And thank you to Councilman Kirsch and Councilman Ring for all that you have done in support of our residents and our efforts this year. I don't know that any of us could have imagined what the year would be like when we took office last year, but it's been an honor to serve with all of you over the course of this year. None of this could have been accomplished, as Councilman Howard Norgalis said earlier, without the leadership of our administrator, Michael Pappas. I could have written a 20-minute speech on all the things that he has done this year to help lead our township through this incredible year, and not just with the pandemic, but everything that goes on a day-to-day basis. Thank you, Mike, for all of your support. Thank you to our Township Attorney, Chris Corsini, who continues to work tirelessly to make sure that we get all these things done and that they're completed and that everything is ready for our council agendas when they come up. Thank you to all of our Bridgewater employees who spend their time and dedication to our residents for helping us all succeed this year. God bless you, your families, Bridgewater Township, and the United States of America. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor, for those nice words. Thank you for everything that you do for Bridgewater Township and for your service here and working so closely with the town council. We really certainly appreciate all that you've done. Moving on to item number 10. These are mayor appointments with the advice and consent of the council. So these I'm going to read individually. And after I read it, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, someone can make a motion. 10A, appointment of qualified purchasing agent Rose Witt as 2021 Public Agency Compliance Officer. If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Great. We need a roll call here. Mr. Cristini, do we need a roll call? Who's Cristini on the line? Oh, what's this? We'll
I
take a roll call.
apologize, Philippe. I was muted. Yes, you do need a roll call. Yes, 100%.
Okay, very good. Linda, would you please take the roll?
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. 10B, authorizing and approving the fee schedule for professional legal services for Christopher Corsini Esquire and the law firm of Saville, Shaw, Gillespie, Ogrodnik, and Fisher, in an amount not to exceed $460,000 for the period of January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021.
I'll make a motion for 10B.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Very good. Roll call, please. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. 10C, authorizing the appointment of Michael Collins Esquire of the law firm of Archer Grainer LLC as conflict municipal attorney for the Township of Bridgewater for a one-year term commencing on January 1st in an amount not to exceed $10,000. Is there a motion?
I'll move 10C.
Second.
Very good. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. 10D, resolution appointing Michael Pappas as acting chief municipal officer through August 16, 2021, and acting director of finance for the Township of Bridgewater through December 31st, 2021. Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. 10E, authorizing appointment of William H. Burr, P.E. of Mesa Consulting as township engineer for a one-year term commencing on January 1st, 2021, in an amount not to exceed $120,000. Is there a motion?
Mr. President, I'll move 10E.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
A roll call, please.
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. 10F, authorizing appointment of Scarlett Doyle, Township Planner, and award a professional service contract in an amount not to exceed $60,000 for a one-year term commencing on January 1st, 2021.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. 10G, authorizing appointment of Matthew Giacobbe Esquire of the law firm of Cleary, Giacobbe, of Fury and Jacobs LLC as labor counsel for the Township of Bridgewater for a one-year term commencing on January 1st in an amount not to exceed $120,000. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Great, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurd,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
yes,
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedrosa.
Yes. 10H, authorizing award of contract or professional legal services, Chief Municipal Prosecutor John Lanza Esquire, in an amount not to exceed $80,000.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second? I think I heard someone was about to speak. Was it Howard?
Yes, I moved it. Michael seconded it.
Okay, very good. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurd,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
yes,
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedrosa.
Yes. 10I, authorizing award of contract professional legal services, municipal public defender to Britt J. Simon Esquire for a one-year term in an amount not to exceed $20,000. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurd,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
yes,
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedrosa.
Yes. 10J, authorizing award of contract professional legal services, first alternate municipal public defender to Scott Mitzner Esquire for a one-year term commencing on January 1st in an amount not to exceed $2,400. Is there a motion?
I'll move 10J.
Thank
Second.
you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurd,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
yes,
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedrosa.
Yes. 10K, authorizing award of contract professional legal services, second alternate municipal public defender to Darrell Kipnis Esquire for one-year term commencing on January 1st in an amount not to exceed $7,000. Is there a motion?
Council President, this is Matt. Just a note on this resolution that it should be an amount not to exceed $2,400, not an amount. Right now it says not to exceed $7,000. It should be the same as the one before it.
Thank you. I like a lower number. With that amendment, is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurd,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
yes,
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedrosa.
Yes. 10L, authorizing award of contract for professional legal services to Gibbons PC as bond counsel for the calendar year 2021.
I'll move 10L.
Thank you.
Second. I'll second.
Okay. Got a second and a third. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurd,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
yes,
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedrosa.
Yes. Moving on to item number 11. These are mayor's appointments without the advice and consent of council, which means that the mayor has a statutory right to make these appointments at his own discretion. I'm going to read them out loud, and there'll be no action necessary by the council. 11A, appointments to the Local Emergency Management Council, the Howard Nogales, Wells Vinegar, James Edwards, Chris Corsini, Timothy Ring, Stephen Wozniak, Christine Madrid, Paul Payne, Richard Chimp, John Auger, Daniel Fonder, Thomas Quirera. If I mispronounce anyone's names, it's accidental. 11B, appointment to the Open Space Advisory Committee, James Timonelli, Environmental Representative. 11C, appointment of Planning Board members, Class 1, Thomas Genova, Class 2, Michael Pappas, Class 4, Mauricio Vecchio, another Class 4, Kimberly Farino, Environmental Representative. Class 4, alternate number 1, Lauren Cerro. 11D, appointment of Joint Insurance Fund Commissioners, 1, Michael Pappas, 2, Thomas Genova, alternate. 11E, appointment to the 2021 Somerset County Community Development Consortium. 1, Wells Vinegar. 2, Michael Pappas as an alternate. 3, Alan Cardilla. 4, Timothy Ring as an alternate. 11F, appointment to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, Thomas Genova. We move on to item number 12, mayor's appointments with the advice and consent of council. These are boards and committees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read all of 12, and then I'll entertain a motion for all, or unless anybody would like to pull anything out. Hearing none, I'm going to read 12. 12A, appointment to the Creative Arts Committee. Stephanie Mensch, Miha LeMay, Michael Eckelman, Jessica Skakum. 12B, appointment to the Environmental Commission. Kimberly Farino, Planning Board Representative. Number 2, James Minelli. 3, Patricia Casamento. 4, Stephen Skakum. 12C, appointment to the Greenbrook Flood Control Commission, Thomas Genova, Timothy Ring, and Michael Kirsch as an alternate. 12D, appointments to the Health Advisory Board, Stanley Stelakis. 12E, appointments to the Raritan and Millstone Flood Control Commission, Thomas Genova, Wells Vinegar as an alternate, and Alan Cardilla. 12F, appointments to the Recreation Advisory Board, Jennifer Loughran and Urban Bandia. 12G, appointments to the Regional Center Partnership Committee. 1, Mayor Matthew Mensch. 2, Michael J. Pappas. 3, Andrew Fresco. 4, Philippe Pedroso. 5, Timothy Ring as an alternate. 12H, appointments to the Shade Tree Board, Diane Marconi and Barbara Ronker. 12I, appointments to the Bridgewater Township Veterans Advisory Committee, John Manna and Daniel Garola. Is there a motion?
I move council consent on 12A through 12I.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Hirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
yes,
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. 13 are the council appointments for staff. And again, I will read 13A through D. And then if anyone wants to discuss it, we can discuss it or entertain a motion. 13A, appointment of assessment search officer, Linda Doyle. 13B, appointment of tax search officer, Darrow Murdoch. 13C, appointment of deputy township clerk, Grace Draguna. 13D, appointment of auditor, Suppley Clooney and Company, 308 East Broad Street, Westfield, New Jersey, in a total amount not to exceed $60,000. If there is any discussion, you may raise it or I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes,
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. 14 are council appointments for boards and committees. So I'll do the same thing. 14A, appointments to the Board of Adjustments. 1, John Falone as a regular member. 2, Daniel Ahern as a regular member. 3, Andrew Fresco, alternate member number 1. 4, Gary Lespiza, alternate member number 2. Kevin Roble, alternate member number 3. Bruce Bongiorno, alternate member number 4. 14B, appointment to the Planning Board, Michael Kirsch as Class 3. 14C, Open Space Advisory Committee, Tony Hoffman. 14D, appointment to the Somerset Regional Animal Shelter Management Committee. 1, William Reshkin. 2, Tony Hoffman. 3, Philippe Pedroso. And 4, Robert Devnani as an alternate. 14E, appointment to the Somerset Valley Sewerage Authority, Howard Norgalis. 14F, appointment to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, Howard Norgalis. Comments or motion?
I'll move 14A through F.
I'll
Second. I think, okay, a roll call, please.
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. Mr. Corsini, I'll give you a second to unmute yourself. Let me know when you're there.
I'm here.
Thank you. Typically, we swear people in at the reorg meeting, and I think we would do it right about now. Do we go through that now? Should we stand up and should everybody be sworn in? What's your suggestion?
I don't believe so. I'll defer to the clerk on how she wants to handle this.
Council President, we on distribution are going to send oaths of office to any members of boards and committees that need to take one to schedule an appointment.
I see. Okay, very good. So if anyone is out there and are appointed to one of these committees, I would suggest that you contact Ms. Doyle. Okay, so we'll move on to item number 15, resolutions. 15A is a general business resolution. This basically summarize it very brief for the public. It basically sets meeting locations. It also sets some guidance for electronic council meetings. It establishes the official newspaper for publications. It identifies our website. It states things such as checks required 2 signatures and interest for late charges, and designates certain powers to specific people. These are just typical housekeeping tasks that we do every year. If anyone has any questions for Mr. Pappas, you may ask. Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolutions 15A through G.
We haven't read them yet, and let's just do them one at a time.
All right, 15A alone. All right.
Well, yeah, I think. I think Councilman Nogales seconded. So
Yes.
very good. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedroso.
Yes. I'll tell you what we can do is, without objection, we can do 15B, F, and G together. I believe C, D, and E are going to require some comments from Mr. Pappas. So if there's no objections, I'll read 15B, F, and G. 15B is 2021 Township Council scheduled meetings, sets up the dates for the council meetings. 15F, authorizing Bridgewater Township Engineer William Burr, the 4th Acting Township Engineer, to execute NJDP, NJDOT, State of New Jersey, and Somerset County permits on behalf of the township. And 15G, extending Bridgewater Township's local enforcement guidelines for Executive Order 150 and SR 2020-10 concerning outdoor dining, outdoor retail sales, and special COVID-19 extension permit liquor licenses. And this extends the outdoor dining that we had authorized on a prior occasion. So any questions or motion on?
I'll move 15B, F, and G on consent.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kurz,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
and President Nogales. President Pedroso, I apologize.
Fine. Yes. I'll do 12. I'll do 15 C and D together, if that's okay. C is temporary budget, the current fund, and D is temporary budget for the sewer fund. This provides a temporary budget for Bridgewater Township government to function until the moment that we're able to approve a final budget for 2021. And the reason why I'm pulling these separate is because the ones that were in the packet initially have been changed. The numbers were changed. I just want Mr. Pappas to sort of outline what are the numbers in the resolution that we're considering this evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. The temporary budget resolution figures on the agenda are in error. The number that is appearing on the screen now is correct for the sewer utility budget. Just by way of reference, the 2020 sewer utility budget total for the year was $11,547,824.83. The proposal for the temporary budget is $3,031,303.80. On the resolution, there is a breakdown for operations as well as debt service, and those numbers are for operations proposed to be $2,490,687.72, and for debt service, $540,616.08. Those two figures totaling $3,031,303.80. The current fund budget, that which funds the remaining portion of the budget, again for 2020, total budget was $43,259,860.79. Again, the correct number that we're proposing for the council's consideration this evening is $11,355,713.20. Breakdown of that would be for operations $5,386,895.31, and for debt service $5,968,817.94. Again, both of those numbers totaling in $11,355,713.20.
Very good, thank you. With those clarifications, is there a motion on 15C and D?
I'll move them.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Councilman Kershaw second it since he wanted to second all of them. Okay, very good. Roll call, please.
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo?
Yes.
Councilman Nargales?
Yes.
Councilman Ring?
Yes.
President Pedrosa?
Yes. And 15E, establishing cash management plan and naming official depositories. Mr. Pappas?
The cash management policy resolution that you have before you is something that is adopted by the council each year. Since I am the acting CFO, I took the opportunity to share this with a very experienced CFO from another community who has been my unofficial advisor through this last few months. And he made a particular observation which I thought was worth bringing to your attention. I cannot take credit for the content of this specific provision that appears on page 7 of the resolution under the Roman numeral 9 or surplus section. He made a point to say, and I certainly attribute Mrs. Natasha Turchin, or the previous CFO, for inserting this, assuming she was the one that inserted this, but that the specific reference to the fund balance and purpose policy of this section is something that he viewed would be looked very, very favorably by the various rating agencies that are obviously critical for municipalities to borrowing and interest rates that can be levied. And so I just point that out. That was an individual who cannot claim authorship of this particular document, but is a policy that has been longstanding, I believe, policy for Bridgewater and is beneficial to the taxpayer.
Great. Is there a motion on 15E?
I'll move 15E.
I'll second
Yes,
it.
second.
Mr. Council President, real quick, I just wanted to confirm, I apologize, I just want to make sure that the resolution that's being passed also includes that, I think it's been updated, but my version I printed earlier, so I'm not sure if it does. So I want to make sure it's clear that in the list of depositories that we're also including Columbia Bank and Spencer Savings Bank. They're included in section 5, but on an earlier version, were inadvertently omitted from section 4. So I just want to make sure that
Mayor
That's
Mensch, I tried to communicate that with you a moment ago, but you have an old version of it that was corrected. Sorry to.
that's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you
Okay,
all.
very good. Roll call.
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Ring?
Yes.
President Pedrosa?
Yes. At this point, I'm going to jump a little bit in the schedule. I've been informed that the Sheikh at the Al Falah Center has another appointment and needs to get going. So I would, if the Sheikh is still on, I would ask if he would please, I guess, take the moment now to say the words he'd like to say.
Yes, good evening.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Bismillahi walhamdulillah wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. In the name of God, the gracious, the merciful, to whom we belong and to whom we shall return, we ask him in his infinite grace and boundless mercy to send an abundance of prayers and peace upon all of his illustrious messengers and prophets, from Adam to Moses to Jesus to Noah, and to finally our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May the peace and blessings of God be upon them all. It's been a pleasure to be with you, and I actually have been on since the beginning, listening attentively to the duty and the responsibility and the challenge that all of you have ahead of you to serve this beautiful township and to care for the needs of the citizenry. And I wanted to remind myself and all of my beloved brothers and sisters with a verse from the Holy Quran where God says, "O you who believe, uphold justice and bear witness to Allah, God, even if it is against yourselves, your parents, or your close relatives. Whether the person is rich or poor, God can best take care of both. Refrain from following your own desire so that you can act justly. If you distort or neglect justice, God is fully aware of what you do." This is a very powerful verse. It's a very piercing verse. And it's a verse that I hope that reminds all of us to be thoughtful, attentive. We pray that God guides us through this path and this journey, this life that yields very many challenges. And I'm certain, as the responsibility that all of you, the councilman, the mayor, and all of the council staff, the city staff, everyone that is present here, the law enforcement, the citizenry themselves, everyone has a burden and a challenge to uphold these virtues and these morals and ideals to ensure that collective betterment is what comes forth, and that God is pleased with us all. Ask God to bless all of you, to bless the space, to bless this township and the city, to bless all of us, to guide us to that which is most pleasing to Him. Thank you so much. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Ameen.
Thank you so much. I appreciate those kind words on us this evening. All right, now, I feel as if perhaps Reverend Rukini, is he still on? Is the Reverend on? Pastor? All right, I thought maybe we could jump ahead and have him do the benediction before opening the meeting to the public, but as a courtesy to him, but it seems like he's...
I'm still here.
Oh, you are? Would you like to jump ahead now, or can you wait a few minutes?
I can wait a few minutes, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, so item number 16 is meeting open to the public. Members of the public wishing to address the council on any matter will be allowed 2 minutes to speak unless there are unusual circumstances. Have there been any comments provided to the council?
Council President, this is Wells. I had one come in on our type form, and I'll just, if you can indulge me, I'll remind the folks in attendance on how to participate if they have not been here before. You can use the raise hand feature for live audio comment. You can also use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen for type comment. Just please include your name and address. I don't know if you want to take a short break or it's up to you, Council President.
why don't, first of all, we need a motion to open it to the public. So let's get a motion from someone first.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Seconded.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, hearing none. Why don't we just maybe we'll do like a 2-minute break, see if there's any last minute, anybody reaches out to you for the next 2 minutes, and then we'll come back and finish up the meeting.
Council President, was the egg timer passed to you?
All right. So, okay. So let's break for 2 minutes and see, just to give people any last minute opportunities to reach out to Wales and make sure that he doesn't miss anything. All right. So we'll break for 2 minutes and we'll come back in 2 minutes. All right, here we are. It's been a little over 2 minutes. Ms. Stahl could do the roll call. I'm sure we're all here.
Councilman Kurd,
Here.
Councilman Cardillo,
Here.
Councilman Orgalis,
Here.
Councilman Ring,
Here.
President Pedrosa.
Present. Okay, so we're gonna go any updates on any questions or comments from the public?
Just the one comment came in through type form. This comment is from JT Levin, 491 Knollwood Drive. Happy New Year to Mayor Mensch, council members, administration, staff. Best of luck and well wishes to you all towards a healthy, successful 2021 in Bridgewater. Thank you for your service. Cheers, JT. That's all I have, Council President.
Great. Well, thank you, Mr. Levin. All right, so we move on to
Council President,
Motion
Yes,
to
sir.
close public input.
I'll second.
Thank you. Good. Roll call, please.
Kurd,
Yes.
Councilman Cardillo,
Yes.
Councilman Orgalis,
Yes.
Councilman Ring,
Yes.
President Pedrosa.
Yes. Move on to item number 17, the benedictions. The sheik obviously has already gone, so we give the microphone to Reverend Ian Rankin of the Pluckman Presbyterian Church. And Howard, Councilman Orgalis and I are both members of the Pluckman Presbyterian Church. So thank you for being here. It's especially nice for, I'm sure, for both him and I, but and also all members of the Christian community in Bridgewater Township. Go ahead, you have the mic.
Mr. President, Mr. Norgalis, Mr. Mayor, other members of the council, and everyone else participating in the meeting. It's a pleasure, it's a privilege to be able to share in this reorganizational meeting tonight. As you know, Pluckerman is not quite in Bridgewater, but we're right on the cusp. There are many folks who are part of the Pluckerman Church, I know, who are within the Bridgewater community. We as a church have as our mission statement that we are called by God to be a hub of caring in the community. It's our desire that through our work and through our worship together, others would come to know and experience the reconciling love of the Lord Jesus Christ. One of the ways that we have done that is through a ministry that we have called the Medical Equipment Ministry. I know many people from the Bridgewater community have participated in that through donating over the years thousands and thousands of dollars worth of medical equipment. And in turn, we as a church have had the opportunity to give all of that back to people, not just in our immediate area, but much, much further afield as well. That's one of the ways that we're very much called to partner with those who are around us in our community, regardless of means, regardless of race, regardless of nationality, regardless of creed. Wherever someone is coming to us with a need, we seek to share with them the love of our Lord Jesus Christ. I've been invited tonight to share a benediction with you. So if you'll permit me, I would love to do so at this time.
Yes, please.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you his peace. And the blessing of God Almighty, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit descend upon you and remain in your hearts forever. God bless you, and thank you very much for all the work that you do and will continue to do this coming year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, item number 18 is adjournment. Unless anyone has anything else to say, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
It would be my pleasure to make a motion to adjourn this body.
Second.
With the hopes for 2021.
Absolutely. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, meeting's adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming tonight. Have a good night and all the best in 2021.